Hi cuties, my name is Tanaka and this is the channel Nerdy Nekoma. Everything here is about haiku chat stories and fanfic. Thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. And with that, welcome to Bad Influence. It's an EnnoTana Heart Comfort one-shot, and it's the requested part 2 of the EnnoTana part from the bottoms get sick/injured, so I advise you to watch that one first. And now, let's get started with the video. Have you ever had struggles finding good haiku merch or anime merch in general? Because I for sure did. It can be hard, but this shop offers amazing merch. Like, I'm literally obsessed with the haiku merch. They have the cutest hoodies ever. Now, if you want to get 10% off, click the link in the description. They offer me a collaboration, which is literally amazing, and you support my channel this way. So, win-win. Let's go. You have one chance to explain what happened. Ennoshita gulped as he looked up at his captain. Tanaka seemed to be equally as shocked and only hesitantly turned around to face him. He visibly backed away a bit under Daichi's glare and nervously scratched his neck. Well, you see... He threw a swift glance at Enno, and as if his injuries brought back the anger he felt a few minutes prior and reminded him of the reason behind his foolish actions, he turned back with newfound confidence. It quickly faded when all Daichi did upon hearing his story was raise an eyebrow. After a couple more seconds, however, his features softened and he sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose. Look, I get that you wanted to defend him. I'm not saying you are wrong for thinking like that. But you need to learn to solve such things in a more civil way. You can't just pick fights because some idiot said something stupid. For a second, Tanaka looked ready to argue, but quickly shut his mouth upon being met with Daichi's expectant gaze. I know. And I'm sorry. I will clean the gym for the rest of the week, but please keep Chikara out of this. It was my fault anyway. Before Ennoshita even got the chance to protest, Daichi replied, No need to. I think most of the team would have a hard time resisting in that situation. Make sure it never happens again though. If I hear that you were involved in yet another fight, it won't happen again. I promise. Good. And you should get something to cool the injury before you give his parents a heart attack. On my way. Tanaka sprinted to get fresh eyes, while Ennoshita's heart sank. He didn't particularly like to think of his parents in any context related to Tanaka. On his way home, he slowed down the closer he got to their house, dreading the moment he would arrive. They would hardly be thrilled that he'd get injured, though their worries regarding the injury in particular were the least of his concerns right now. He sighed and got the key from his bag, opening the door and kicking his shoes off at the entrance. I'm home. That's great, honey. Could you help set the table? Dinner is almost finished. He could hear his mother rummaging around in the kitchen and quickly walked over to help her. It wasn't until the table was set that she stopped him with an audible gasp. Chikara, dear, what is that on your face? Mom, it's really not that bad. Can we talk about it later, or at least while we eat? She pressed her lips together but nodded, not before taking a closer look, reassuring herself that it was truly nothing major that needed medical attention. His father joined them a few seconds later, picking up on the tense atmosphere and frowning upon being met with a worried look of his wife. "What is it, love? Is everything alright?" He walked up to her and gently took her hand. She breathed in deeply and leaned into his touch. "We'll talk about it over dinner." She motioned for him to sit down and threw a swift glance at their son. His father followed her instructions as his eyes fell on Ennoshita. There was an obvious change in his expression, but he said nothing for now. They sat and ate in silence for a moment. It was awkward at best. "So, how was school today?" Enno almost laughed at his father's attempt to address the elephant in the room. His father had always been a gentle and calm man, something for which the future captain admired him greatly. "I got a bit into a fight. It was stupid, really, just some idiots being idiots." They waited for him to continue. "They said something hurtful to me and Tanaka defended me, but they initiated it and continued fighting after we tried to stop." He desperately tried to salvage the story without lying to them, but as soon as Tanaka's name fell, the mood dropped. His mother put on her chopsticks, pressing her lips together yet again, as she always did when she wanted to say something counterproductive. "Will there be any consequences for anyone involved?" He shook his head. "No, we ran away when a teacher saw us. I don't know if they caught any of them, but I don't think so." His father nodded slowly. "I see." Enno looked down, unsure what to do or say next. He felt like he disappointed them. "Hey, we are not mad at you. Such things happen, and there is no use in dwelling on the past now. We can only change to prevent these things from happening in the future." His mother nodded and smiled even a bit. "As I see it, no one ended up in the hospital, and it's the first time something like this happened." She hesitated, her eyes full of concern. "Chikara, this never happened before. Could it be that..." She searched her husband's gaze for help, struggling to find the right words. "Chikara, have you ever considered that this Tanaka boy isn't a good influence for you?" There it was. Ennoshita's hands clenched around the chopsticks, and he had to bite his tongue not to snap at them. It wasn't Ryu's fault. "I know. We know. But these things never happened before you started dating him." "These things?" His tone was getting progressively more bitter. "You were late for class the other day because you two met before school, remember?" "That was one time." "You got into a fight today. Chikara, this is serious. You might not have been caught this time, but maybe the next. You could get suspended." "Again, one time. All after you started dating him." She took a deep breath and her features softened. "I just don't want a high school crush to tear you down. I know that you can keep your grades up, and quite frankly, as long as you pass and are happy, I'm fine with anything." "Ryu makes me happy." Chikara, this is about your safety. You were hurt. Not because of him. He protected me. He usually wasn't one to talk back to his parents. He had trust in their communication, but recently there was one topic they simply couldn't seem to talk about. Tanaka. But would you have gotten into a fight if he wasn't there? He kept quiet, but it seemed to be answer enough to them. It wasn't like that. Ryo's great. He doesn't tear me down or is a bad influence. He is amazing and charming and... It's okay. We know that you like him. I love him. Chikara, you are coming home with bruises on your face. Could you at least try to see things from our perspective? Her tone turned pleading towards the end. How about you see things from my perspective? You haven't even met Tanaka because I'm too afraid to bring him over. The silence returned, heavier than before. Maybe we should take a pause. Maybe sleep over it the night and talk again tomorrow. Enno wordlessly agreed and excused himself from the table. The next day came around and he was already getting suspicious when he saw both of them waiting for him that morning. What is going on? Good morning to you two. His father tried to sound cheerful, but the tension tinting the air made it hard to believe. Chikara just raised an eyebrow and stared at them expectantly. Why don't you sit down for breakfast first? He didn't. This is about Ryo, isn't it? No. Yes. They looked at each other nervously. Well, not entirely. The knots in his stomach twisted further, and he could feel a familiar pressure building up behind his eyes. Are you going to tell me to break up with him? His voice sounded thinner than he had hoped, and even though he fought it, the first tear made its way down his cheek. Oh, honey. She made a step in his direction, but he immediately backed away, feeling almost guilty when he saw the hint of hurt in their eyes. Because I'm not going to. I love him, and I won't break up just because you tell me to. I won't betray him like that. He took a deep breath, but it was shaky. I won't be a coward anymore. I will... Hey, it's okay, Chikara. No, it's not. You should support me in my decisions. Can't you see that he makes me happy? That... We can. Sort of. And something that you said yesterday, it made us think. She made another attempt to close the distance between them, drying his tears when he didn't back away this time. You were right after all when you said that we never met him, and you shouldn't feel like you need to hide something or someone from us. That's why we thought, if he really means that much to you, we should invite him to dinner. Get to know him. He gulped, looking at her with wide eyes. It was unexpected, and he didn't really know how to feel about this. I want to be honest with you. I'm still not convinced of this. I want to see my son happy more than anything, and I'm worried about you. That's just part of being a parent. But I will listen. I promise I will if you ask me to. That goes for the both of us. His father smiled at him, It faltered a bit when he told them he needed time to think about it, but they nodded. The whole day at school, Enno was quiet, even though he was freaking out internally. Time passed by at a record speed, and he was only half aware of the lessons that were being taught. Like a zombie, he walked through the hallways, his mind preoccupied with his inner struggles and unable to register much else. He didn't even spend lunch at the cafeteria with the others. Instead, his legs seemed to automatically carry him to the place in front of the gym a bit to the side where Tanaka handed him the flowers one morning. It felt like ages ago. He slumped down on the ground and leaned against the cold brick wall behind him, his backpack falling down next to him carelessly. Is that your whole lunch? Huh? He flinched a bit in surprise when Tanaka suddenly appeared in front of him. The other pointed at the juice box in his hand in reference to his question. But Enno just stared at it and shrugged his shoulders. What are you doing here? I'm not blind, Chica. I might not pay attention in class all that much, but I do pay attention to you. A warm smile spread on Tanaka's cheeks as he let himself fall down beside him. Something is on your mind, and if I were to guess, I'd say it's nothing good. Good guess. He mindlessly fumbled with the straw of his beverage and continued staring into nothing. Tanaka next to him scratched his neck nervously. Is it about the fight? If so, I'm really sorry. You didn't get caught, did you? You can blame me entirely. It was all my fault and... No, it's nothing like that. I mean, not really, it's just... He groaned in frustration and let his head slump back against the wall. Tanaka raised an eyebrow and looked at him questioningly. But something is up. Ennoshita closed his eyes. He was exhausted and didn't know what to do. Chikara? He gently took his hand in his. Enno hadn't even noticed that his nails started to dig into his palm. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. Just explain. He gulped, his eyes glued to the ground. It's my parents. He bit his lip. They... Ennoshita threw a swift glance at his boyfriend. I think you are a bad influence. Oh. I can see why. He chuckled nervously and started to fumble with his fingers. Enno looked up surprised. I mean, you are you. You are good in school, kind. I'm sure if it wasn't for me, you would have never gotten into a fight. Ryo. I admire you, Chikara, and I want to be with you, but I understand if you don't want to do This without your parents' support. His head shot up, and he looked at him with wide eyes. Tanaka squeezed his hand reassuringly. It's okay. No, it's not. They should support me. He sighed. They said they would listen, and told me to invite you over for dinner. The spiker's eyes widened in surprise before he grinned widely. Great! Then I can convince them. I'll make sure to leave the bestest impression ever. Enno laughed at his boyfriend's silly attempt to cheer him up. It worked. No, but seriously, it sounds like a chance. It will be an interrogation. Tanaka laughed. I'm sure I can handle it. Enno sighed and let himself fall against his boyfriend's side. The other blushed at the sudden contact. Still, he lifted his arm a bit to pull him closer. I will do my best. I know you will. I'm sorry about this. About all of this. I already told you. You don't have to apologize. He placed a tender kiss on his hair. We can do this. You? Yeah? Never think again that I might leave you. I won't. I don't care what anyone says. I won't. Tanaka chuckled slightly at his offended tone and pulled him into an embrace. I'm glad. I wouldn't know what I would have done if you really decided to leave. Now what was all this talk about? Can't blame me for trying to be the gentleman that you deserve. In the end, it's your choice, not mine. Enno huffed. Gentleman my ass. I just want you. He laughed again. Then you can have me. No objections. Enno tried glaring at him, but his smile broke through the facade, and he propped himself up on his hands to steal a quick kiss from Tanaka. Just when he attempted to back away again, two warm hands kept his cheeks and held him in place. Atala deepened the kiss before separating again, resting his forehead against Enno's and panting slightly. I love you. The other felt the heat creeping up his face from the moment they kissed, increasing tenfold. I love you too. He wanted to stay like this a little longer, but all too soon, Tanaka nudged him gently in his side and urged him to get up. Come on, otherwise we're gonna be late. Wouldn't want to keep you from school and be a bad influence. He winked at him and nudged him in a spot in his side where he knew Enno was very sensitive and ticklish. He was wise to run before he was faced with his boyfriend's wrath. Not that that meant he would get away. The dinner went, well, at least better than expected. It was awkward and silent most of the time, but against all odds, his parents seemed to like Tanaka. Enno shouldn't be surprised that his boyfriend would be able to win them over. He was funny, charming, honest, and kind-hearted. Tanaka was one of these people who, in a way, wore their hearts on their sleeves, meaning they simply had no hidden intentions, no second thoughts or alternative motives. Everything he said was an honest reflection of who he was. It was one of the things Ennoshita admired greatly about the other. Still, today, something seemed off. He was nervous, sure, but when he left his booming laugh, always so full of joy, he stopped himself and instead chuckled quietly. The longer they sat at that very table, the more obvious it was to Enno that Tanaka tried to please his parents' image of a good boyfriend and tuned down his expressive nature. He didn't like it one bit, and got quieter the longer he had to watch it. Chikara, are you alright? Yeah, sure. You have barely touched your food. I'm sorry that I don't feel comfortable enough while you literally interrogate my boyfriend. He could have punched himself for that. What in hell was he doing? It was all going great, so why did he ruin this? Chikara, this is just supposed to be a nice little dinner to get to know each other better. His father smiled reassuringly and Enno bit his tongue. He knew that he meant well, but he didn't want this. He didn't want to watch Tanaka pretending to be someone else just to fit into the picture-perfect family. Suddenly, he felt a feather-light touch at his hand, which he subconsciously clenched into a fist underneath the table. Tanaka gently loosened his grip and intertwined their fingers. So, Tanaka, you are playing volleyball as well? Yeah, that's how we met. Lovely. Which position? Spiker. Wing spiker, to be exact. It wasn't that Tanaka was being dishonest. He'd doubt by now that he was even capable of a believable lie. It was the way he said things. The way he purposefully dulled down his usual excitement and kept his emotions in check, trying to be more quiet and proper. It left Ennoshita irritated and internally fuming. His hand clenched tighter around Tanaka's again, which earned him another worried glance from his boyfriend, one he avoided gracefully, but he couldn't fool him. Chika? What is it, darling? He knew that his mother's concern was genuine, but it was exactly this concern that got them here. Chikara, do you want to get some fresh air? He nodded and proceeded to get up. Tanaka led him outside while his parents just looked at them confused. On the porch, Enno let go of Tanaka's hand and leaned against the wall beside the door. Chikara, what's wrong? Did I say something stupid? Or... No. He sighed, looking up to the already deep blue sky with only a glimpse of sunshine glistening at the horizon. No, you did everything right. Or probably. I'm sorry for being difficult. You're not being difficult. Don't invalidate your feelings. He waited for Enno to do the next step and immediately accepted the hand the other reached out to him. It's just... I don't like to see you like that. Like what? He gently pulled him closer and protectively rubbed the smaller in his arms. Unlike you. I mean, you are still you, but quiet and... You shouldn't need to pretend to be someone else just to impress my parents. I love you as you. I don't want anyone else. I don't want a quiet or proper version of you, whatever that means. Just you. I'm sorry. I know that it's silly. It's not. A small chuckle resonated in Tanaka's chest, and he pulled him even closer. What? I'm just happy, I guess. Happy that you love me. Of course I do. I know. He soothingly patted his arms and placed a tender kiss on his hair. I love you too. And I promise to stop trying to change, if that's what you really want. Of course. He turned around in his arms and looked at him sternly. Ryunosuke Tanaka, don't even think for a second that you would have to change for me. If you ever dare to... He laughed before plastering his face in kisses. You too, okay? Huh? Never change. Sure, maybe we still have some growing up to do, but let's do that together, yes? Now it was Enno's turn to laugh, and he nodded. When they went back inside, the atmosphere had changed. It somehow felt warmer, more welcoming. Tanaka was still a bit nervous, but more like his usual self, and Enno embraced it. His parents also didn't seem to have that much of a problem with it, and slowly warmed up to the situation. Honestly, who couldn't love Tanaka if they got to know him? The evening ended on a good note, and Tanaka stole a last goodbye kiss when Ennoshita's parents weren't looking. Or at least he tried, but Enno pulled him back in, purposefully demonstrating that no matter what they would think after today, it wouldn't change what they had. Maybe it was a bit petty, but he didn't care. When Tanaka left, he looked at them challengingly. To his surprise, however, his mother started laughing and his father smiled softly. He is really something, isn't he? Definitely. He is not a bad guy, Oh, sweetie, we are talking about you. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself and what you want, and your boyfriend, I guess. What? So you accept him? She sighed and nodded. He seems great. I'm sorry for judging before I got to know him. Me too. I just wanted to protect you, but you are old enough to make your own decisions and your own mistakes. Tanaka is not a mistake. She smiled and a bit nervously looked to the side. I know. Honey, She looked to her husband for help, who suddenly seemed just as nervous. What? She pointed towards the window in the kitchen. I'm sorry. We didn't mean to eavesdrop, but we could hear your conversation from the living room. Ennoshita felt his cheeks filling with blood. The embarrassment overtook his thinking. We are really sorry. Tanaka seemed like a great guy, and I'm sorry that he felt the need to change his behavior when being with us. I'm proud that you stood up for him, and in the future I promise to do my best to make him feel welcome. That goes for the both of us. Son, we will always try to protect you. That's just what parents do, but from now on we will make sure to listen more carefully. Enno felt himself tearing up, and a smile spread on his face as he walked over to them, joining them in a group hug. Thank you. And as always, thank you for watching till the end. I hope you liked it. I'm sorry if this video is a bit messy. I was still a bit sick when recording the first half. I'm still a tiny bit sick, but now I think it's much better. But as coincidence wants it, or fate, or whatever, something wants to mess with this video, I want to record the second half. Kuma, my dog, wasn't feeling so well, so you might hear her in the background. I apologize for that. She's doing better now, I think, hopefully. She will be fine. I will be fine. We will be fine. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. There's more to come. And yes, have a great, amazing, and wonderful day.